Hi there, I'm Jan Birkins,
And I'm Kari Yates.
and we are so excited to invite you to join us on a journey that has the potential to truly change the trajectory of your professional practice.
It's another crazy, intense school year. And if you're like the teachers that we work with, you're likely feeling more pressure than ever to make use of every instructional moment. See if this sounds like you.
Maybe you feel as though you're working as hard as you can, and your kids are working hard too. And yet, every year, there are still children that aren't successful.
Or maybe you feel like the instructional practices you've learned or even been required to use just don't seem to be doing enough for some of your students.
We know you're committed to keeping learning for young children joyful and meaning driven, but maybe you've started to wonder if that's enough.
Yeah. And you may be feeling pressure from the outside to align your instruction with the science of reading, but feel really unsure about what that really means or how to get started.
If you are a K-2 teacher, an interventionist, an instructional coach, an administrator, wanting to cut through the confusion and build a strong science aligned foundation for beginning readers, we've designed Shifting the Balance, the online class, with you in mind.
And we have personally worked in lots of balanced literacy classrooms as teachers, as interventionists, coaches, and yes, even as administrators at the school and district level.
And like you, we believe in keeping reading truly joyful and meaningful.
Yet we've also been where you are, working hard, committed to children, yet feeling like we're missing something because so many children still aren't learning to read well enough.
And so a few years back, we also realized that some of the practices that we held kind of dear, were coming under more and more scrutiny.
And we reached a point where we had to step back and ask ourselves, what is all the fuss about the science of reading? What is it we're missing? What does need to shift?
We know you don't have time to read volumes and volumes of research.
And we know that the most important thing for you is figuring out what you can do tomorrow to really make the most impact for your students.
And so we've got you covered. In Shifting the Balance, the book and the online class, we share what we learned after scouring the current research. We've read stacks of books, research articles, and research summaries, all for you.
And in light of that research, we've evaluated common practices. Practices we've used ourselves as balanced literacy educators, and practices we've also asked other educators to use.
Mm-hmm. And when we took a close look at the research, we did confirm that there definitely are science aligned practices already happening in balanced literacy classrooms, of course.
But when we look closely with both open hearts and open minds, we also had to recognize that there are some really critical things that we have missed, misunderstood, and even just plain gotten wrong.
And so we've taken all that we've learned and boiled it down into 6 critical shifts that we really must get right, because we are all really serious about wanting to see more kids succeed as readers.
And so we've translated these important shifts so that you can know exactly which practices need to be eliminated, which ones need revising, and which are truly solid practices supported by what the research has shown us about how the brain learns to read.
And we unpack those 6 shifts and take them further and deeper in our online class.
For each of the 6 shifts, we've created a predictable format, making it easy to understand the science, and then most importantly, to bridge that science into our everyday practices.
The class has 6 modules, one for each of the 6 shifts in the book. The first half of each module is where we untangle 4 or 5 common misunderstandings that have gotten our practices off track. And we share the foundational science pieces that you need to know to begin to evaluate and transform your practices.
Yeah. For example, in module 4, the sight word module, we tackle this misunderstanding that's so prevalent that children just have to memorize sight words. And we debunk that myth in light of brain science.
Mhm. And then in the second half of each module, which we find especially fun, we provide a range of practical, science aligned strategies for transforming your practice beginning tomorrow.
So again, in the sight word module, for example, which by the way, participants get really excited about that one. We show you how you can help children learn sight words in a different, more powerful and science-based way that truly leads to both long-term storage and instant recognition. It's kind of a bit like magic.
It is. It really is magical. And the class is primarily asynchronous, so it fits into your schedule. But you'll also get to spend some time with us during 2 live Zoom sessions where we can connect with you and explore questions that are on your mind.
Yeah, this class is packed with engaging videos, audio that you can use to take us for a walk while you listen, downloadable resources, and really, really practical starting points for transforming your practice.
So, if you're ready to make some brave shifts on behalf of children, if you're ready to make your own work easier while also making learning to read easier for your students, we think this is the course for you.
And we would love to have you join us.